Okay, this is my second video recording with my phone instead of my computer, so if it's weird or there's outside noises, I do apologize. But I went back to locals yesterday with a new Tenpai list than what I took from Nats, and it's following the formula of a guy who got top 32, I believe. Jonathan, I don't know his last name, but he got top 32 with a Tenpai list that I really like the look of, and so I wanted to test it out kind of for myself, but kind of also have a little bit of my own spin to it. It's not like any drastic change. It's very, very similar to what he played. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. It's not really very surprising. Two Pydra, one Dora. I really like this ratio. Just because, I don't know, Pydra can get you, into your spells, but Dora is a really good normal summon. It's basically a Snake Eye Ash, because you normal summon it, effect, search Genroku, and Genroku is the Poplar, so you summon Poplar, and you can kind of go off from there. So it's really, I like this ratio. 3 Chundra is probably the best ratio to play it at, just because this card is broken. It plays under, if your opponent just does Phantom of Yugioh pass, you just go normal summon, battle, swing, damage step effect, and they can't tribute to replace its effect. So it's a really good card. 2 Genroku. I think Gen 2 is pretty good, but there could be an argument to bump it down to 1. But I don't know, I think 2 is pretty good. And then 1 Fadra, and then 3 Field, 1 Terra, 3 Kaiman, and then just for added consistency, 3 Pot. Not really much to say about it. After taking the deck to Nats and not playing a Dora, having Dora in the deck feels 100% better. So yeah, that is the main dragons. For non-engine, we played 3 Moltrami Perulia. This card is really good, just because it gives your opponent the choice of whether or not to summon from hand and give you draws or just pass. I've had a person at my locals I activated this in standby, and I was like, just end my turn. So yeah, I really like this in main. It feels so much better. 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, and 3 Shifter. I still have to learn how to play under Shifter, just because I'm having a really hard time playing against it, or playing with it, but it's still pretty good. 2 Fenrir is pretty good, I think, just because it helps. If you're under Shifter, it helps a lot because it's a bigger body. So if your opponent ends on just like Snake Eye Ash and Snake Eye Poplar and Field Spell, they're at plus like 1100. 11. So your dragons can't attack over it, but if you special Fenrir, you can attack over them, remove bodies, and then if you have Chundra on field, you can go attack, effect, target 1, banish it face down, redeclare, attack, damage step, Chundra effect. So I really like having this card. 2 Mourner is really good, just because if you're under Shifter, you can't activate Veiler. And Mourner is really good because it negates the monster and it burns your opponent's life points for the attack of the monster when it leaves the field. So if you negate a Diabell Star and they use it to link off or something, they take 25, I think. So that it helps make killing your opponent easier. 2 Droll. Droll is still really good even though you main deck Shifter, just because I believe Jonathan in his deck profile said that instead of going for the Chainlink 1 Shifter, Chain 2 Droll, you hold the Droll just for discard fodder for a later turn. Just because Snake Eye and Yubel aren't playing under Dimension Shifter. So it's better to keep this in hand for discard fodder instead of doing Chain 1, Chain 2. Which I really agree with. I do like the ratios of the hand traps just because Purulia makes it easier to draw into stuff. And, you know, similarly, 1 Nib and 1 Magnemite. Just having Purulia makes drawing into these easier, even though they're one-ofs. You don't really want to see multiple of, like, these 3 or 4. Yeah, Ash, Mourner, Droll, and Nib. So playing them at 1 just makes sense. I mean, you can only play Bestial Magnemite at 1, but and then a little bit of my own spin on it. So in Jonathan's deck profile, he played a Rivalry of Warlords, but I swapped that out for a Phantasme, just because if I go Purulia effect and my opponent lets me draw a couple cards, and they go Link Summon, I can go Phantasme to draw more cards and fix my hand. I don't think it came up very often at locals, but it was. I think it's not a terrible idea. And then the rest of the non-engine was 1 Lightning Storm and 1 Duster. I feel like if you weren't playing Phantasme, you play Lightning Storm. But because I play Molchummy and Phantasme, you could probably drop Lightning Storm and add a Raigeki. Just because, you know, if you special Phantasme or Nibiru and it stays on the field, you can't Lightning Storm. But if you have Raigeki and your opponent sets up a board, a small board at least, you can Raigeki, wipe out the monsters, and Feather Duster is, you know, Feather Duster. So that's my idea. I might try it out on Tuesday for locals, just see how it goes. I'm still working with changing the deck from my Nats list, and I'm having more fun with this than what I was playing at Nats. Yeah. That is the main deck. I believe it is 42 cards, and Jonathan's list was also 42, I believe. 42 or 43? I think it was 42. But onto the extra deck. This is not the exact same extra deck as Jonathan's. 1 Trident. I played 1 Ruddy Rose. I think he also did. I like this card. I feel like it's really good in like some kind of grind game. Against like Fiendsmith Yubel, Snake Eye Yubel. You just summon this, banish their entire graveyard, and they don't really have a whole lot of follow-up. Especially if they have both Snake Eye Ash and Snake Eye Oak in grave, it becomes really good because they can't really circulate, I think. And of course, 1 Transcendent. I played 2 Biden. I feel like, you know, that's just standard. Black Rose, and Kiwi Belt. I dropped Meteor Burst because Transcendent is basically just a better Meteor Burst. I kept the Dawn Dragster just because I like it for going first. One Samurai Destroyer, and then I saw a Asian deck list that was playing a Zeus, Downerd, and a Breaksword, which I thought was really interesting. But unfortunately, it just didn't come up at all, and I didn't really get to test it out. But it seems cool because you can, under Shifter, you can go normal Dora, summon Genroku, overlay, swing into something. It's 2k, so it can usually beat over something, and then go Downerd Zeus for 2 board wipes. So I thought that was pretty neat. I don't think I would play it. I think I would prefer to have some way to have some kind of grind game. So I want to play a Doolittle, a Dark, and a Striker Dragon over those, and then with the rest of the Link package, Dark and Striker and Hida just helps to make Promethean Princess, and Princess can revive something, and then you can link in a Doolittle Chimera to give your fires +5, and then you can start attacking. So yeah, I want to try this package in tournament when I get the chance. Yeah, that is pretty much it for the extra deck. It's really nothing special. It's very, very standard. For the side deck, I don't remember how similar my side deck is to Jonathan's, but I believe he played 2 Druisworm inside just for Fiendsmith stuff and Yugioh stuff. 1 Quackimera Drago, and I believe it was the same Japanese list, or I don't know if it was Japanese. It was an Asian list that cited an extra Dora, and I kind of like that just because it's just added consistency. 3 Cosmic Cyclone and 3 Droplet. I feel like this is better to side if I'm maining Dimension Shifter, just because they don't really conflict too hard. I didn't want to play. Well, I mean, I'm just going off of Jonathan's list, but I feel like this is better just because I don't want to play the deck with too many conflicts. A card I didn't realize was really a thing was Different Dimension Grounds, and this card is actually pretty good. If you lose game 1, you go first game 2, you set this, activate it. It's just a shifter for the turn for monsters, which is really good. Because if you end on Seals and you activate this in like draw phase, you go Seals, bounce something, they can't call by because Seals is banished, which is really good. And then the card I thought was interesting was in Jonathan's list was 2 Solemn Scolding. I only have 1, and my other one is in the mail, it's on the way. Just because Scolding can pretty much negate anything. So if you go first and you open these 2 and end on Seals, you set those 2, draw phase, Different Dimension Grounds, and now your Scolding is the only card set, so you can activate it if your opponent tries to Ash your Heretic Seals summon from deck effect. Because it says if this card is the only set card in your spell trap card zone, when a monster will be summoned or a spell trap or a spell card, trap card, or monster effect is activated, pay 3k, negate the summon or activation, and if you destroy it. That's pretty good. So unfortunately it didn't come up in tournament, but hopefully my second one will be here before Tuesday, so I can play with the actual side deck. It also helps against Yugioh. Basically, it's a solemn judgment on crack, pretty much. I think this is better than Judgment. But yeah, that is what I played Tuesday to get second place. A change I would make in the side deck is so unfortunately, even if I sided in 2 Bestials, I didn't really often see any of the Bestials. So I think 1 Druisworm is a flex spot, and I went in and I found a Grand Tusk Dragon, which is a good seals target, because with Fiendsmith Yugioh, we had what was it? We have a pretty solid OTK card against Fiendsmith Yugioh, which was Quackimera Drago. You just make seals, tribute, bounce something, summon Drago, and they pretty much can't do anything. But the problem with Snake Eye is that there wasn't really a good target, because you can do Drago, and that prevents them from summoning Witch, but that's just about it, besides like Dark or something. So this I feel like is pretty good, just because it says if it's normal or special summon, you can target up to 2 other cards on the field and destroy them, and then it gains 600 for each destroyed card. So if they're under Shifter and they do normal summon Snake Eye Ash, summon Poplar, search field spell, activate field spell, you can seals, bounce the field spell back to hand, and then on resolution do seals effect, summon Grand Tusk, pop Snake Eye Ash, and Poplar, and they'll be banished, and you're still left with a body under Shifter. So I think it's a pretty neat idea, and I want to try it. So when Tuesday comes, hopefully I'll play against the Snake Eye player and see how it does. But yeah, that is the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you later.